Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. More specifically, welcome back to Coffee and Current Reads. This is episode 2. I started a fresh batch of reads, so I said, yeah, now's the time. Except for the drink that's accompanying me today is not a coffee, it's a matcha. Okay, a lot of things here actually. I am excited for one that I repurposed a spaghetti jar to make coffees and ice drinks in, like sustainable queen that I am. Then I saw a recipe for a strawberry iced matcha latte. I like matcha, I like strawberries. Let's put them together. So got a little layer of strawberry syrup at the bottom and then like some strawberry flavored like milk. And then I put in some strawberry flavored matcha at the top as well. So let's give it a good stir. The beautiful color that we had, she's kind of gone, but that's not what's important. Let's give it a sip. That's on to something. Okay, cheers guys. Okay, first book that I am currently reading is James by Percival Everett. So, first off, let me say, I've never read any of the classics, okay? I know of Huckleberry Finn, I know of Tom Sawyer, but I went into this blind. So when I'm seeing like Huck and Tom Sawyer, I'm like, what's happening? What are we doing here? But now I've found out that this is told from the perspective of the escaped slave that's in the Huckleberry Finn books. I think that's what I'm gathering. And this is told in his perspective, in the perspective of Jim, who I think is going to become James. And about, I guess, just like giving him an opportunity to tell a different story. And again, I don't know what happens in the original story. I don't know if Jim has a POV at all, but in this story, James is kind of like reclaiming who they are. They know how to read, they know how to write, and so I guess it's just like seeing his adventures as a human, as a person, alongside the story of the Mark Twain books with Huckleberry Finn. My predicted rating for this book is definitely probably going to be 4 or 5 stars. We'll see what happens over the course of the book. So far, I'm 68% in. And fun fact, guys, I have actually stuck to one of my goals and slowed down my listening speed. I'm listening to all my books at 1.7 speed right now, which is unheard of for me. But I feel like I'm enjoying them maybe a little bit more. I'm into the story a little bit more. I was talking about in my January wrap-up video how all of those books, well, not all of them, but a lot of them were dud. So maybe slowing down, doing like physical book combo, I listen to the audiobook as well, is helping me understand and enjoy them. So predicting 4.5 stars. We'll see this book again in the February wrap-up. Next book that I'm reading is Unloved by Peyton Corinne. So I got the ALC, the advanced listening copy of this book, but I also got the e-arc of this book. So I've had this book in my possession for a while, and funny story, I DNF'd it twice. When I was just trying to read it on the Kindle, I DNF'd that book 2 times. So I'm already starting off a little rocky with this book. The first book in the series is Unsteady, and that follows Reese and Sadie. And then this book is Unloved, and it follows Sadie's best friend, Ro, and Freddie, another player on the team. So I love the first book. I gave it 5 stars. Obviously, I'm excited for book 2, right? I sit down, I try to read it. It's giving nothing. When I saw that I could get an advanced listening copy, I was like, okay, maybe again, it's the format. Let's give it another try. Let's listen again. Maybe that was the right choice, because now I'm currently 67% in. I'm having a better time than I obviously initially had when I DNF'd it twice. But I still don't know if I'm really just enjoying the story, if I'm really, really in it, if I'm having a good time. So for many reasons, I'm predicting this to be a 3-star read. Might surprise me in the last 30% and pull out a 4-star, but I definitely don't think it's gonna be a 5-star. Because I did DNF it twice, for one, because we're 67% into the story and I'm still not just convinced that I'm, like, if I'm reading a romance book, I need to leave the book falling in love with the male main character. I can live without Freddie. Next book that I'm reading is Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. So you guys saw this in my Bind Band Books video, and I decided to go ahead and start it. Why not? So I'm 14% in. I'm really trying to read it slow. I'm really trying to take it all in, because I feel like if I rush through it, speed through it, what's the point of even reading it? Like, I'm really trying to take it slow, let it all seep in. So I'm still early to where I don't have any predictions about where I see the story going. But since this book is so beloved, you know, I feel like maybe it's a classic in its own right. I don't predict anything less than 4 stars, but again, we'll see in the February wrap up. Next book that I'm reading is Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. Now, this book, first, let me just start by saying this is gonna be a 5-star read. Easy. Jack is a hot man, okay? This book is about 2 rivals that really love each other, but 2 rivals, and Jack is like secretly an author, and Emily is also trying to get her romance book sent to publishers, right? So I think the point that I'm at right now, I'm 47% into the book. I had to stop because I needed to order a physical copy to have and annotate. I think the point that I'm at right now, Jack is going to help beta read Emily's book. And I'm not an author, right? Like, I've never written a book, but I feel like if I were to be an author, that would be one of the most romantic things that anybody could ever do for you, right? And in Moment of Silence for Jack and his motorcycle, I can so clearly see it in my head, like the scene where he's riding the bike for the first time. Enough of that here. Enough of that, guys. I'm gonna like this book. It's gonna be 5 stars. Mark my words. We'll see at the end of the month. Last and final book that I started today is The Crash by Frida McFadden. Frida. I will say that I'm 25% in, so I'm a fourth of the way in, and I'm having a better time than I've had with some of Frida's more recent releases. I, like a lot of people that know of Frida McFadden, started The Housemaid. Amazing. Like, that showed me what I feel like the standard for a domestic thriller should be, right? It blew up. It's being made into a movie. Everybody loves it. We all love it. Okay? Then I read Never Lie, more of a psychological thriller. Me being a psychologist, I'm like, yeah, this is good, this is great. So I'm like, let's go down Frida's backlist. And I do. And so I've had a rough time with Frida. I feel like now we've got this pattern. We know what's happening. We know what to expect. And we need to switch it up. But I will say, based on the cover and based off going into this book blind like I do with most reads, I saw it's titled The Crash. We see this wintry type vibe on the cover. So I'm thinking the whole book is going to be about, you know, her crashing and trying to survive. Which in a way it is, but there's also so much else that's going on in the story. And I gotta be honest, like, I'm kind of having a good time. I can see where there might be some predictable elements, but I don't know what's actually gonna happen. If it goes the way that Frida's books have been going for me lately, we're gonna say 3 stars or less. But if Frida can pull off a twist like Never Lie or The Housemaid, it might be a 4-star read, guys. Just keep all these predictions in mind, because we'll need to compare at the end of the month. All right, guys, that wraps up what I'm currently reading right now in this episode of Cameron's Coffee and Current Reads. except for some matcha. Hopefully you enjoyed this little shorter type of reading update video. I think I enjoyed making it. So again, they're definitely going to be coming more frequently as I get like fresh sets of reads, so I can tell you guys about them. Like the video, comment, subscribe. We know these things by now. Make sure you're following my Instagram, or you have added me on Goodreads. Not or, do both. Add me on Goodreads to see what I'm reading in real time. And until the next video, do y'all want a little ASMR real quick? Here. Let's log back in.